We are solving logarithmic equations today. We're going to have a couple of examples. Our essential question is how do we solve log equations, and we're going to get right into the examples. So example 1, we have 7 log base 9 of x plus 8, take away 2 is equal to 5. And the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to add 2 to both sides of our equation, just like we did before when we were solving exponentials. So let's go ahead and add the 2 to both sides. So plus 2, and you see what we get. We're left with 7 log base 9 of x plus 8 equals 7. Now my next step, I need to get rid of this 7. Remember, I'm trying to isolate the x, so I'm going to get rid of the 7 by dividing by 7 on both sides. So I'm left with log base 9 of x plus 8 is equal to 1. Now that I've done that, everything that I have left is tied up in the log, so it's now time for me to rewrite this. Now, because it's already a log, I need to do its inverse, which is rewriting it as an exponential. So let's go ahead and rewrite it as an exponential. My base is 9, my exponent is 1, and that's equal to x plus 8. And then my last step is going to be, so that I can get x by itself, is to subtract 8 from both sides. And 9 to the first is just 9. 9 take away 8 is 1. And we have found our answer. After you've gotten your answer, remember, your next step, your last step, if you want to be wise, is to go and check your solution by plugging it in. So we're going to plug it back into our original equation, and we're just going to check it. 7 log base 9 of 1 plus 8 take away 2 equals 5. We want to know if that's true or not. Well, 1 plus 8 is 9, so we have 7 times log base 9 of 9, take away 2 equals 5. Log base 9 of 9, since we've been practicing our number sense, log base 9 of 9 is 1. So we've got 7 times 1, take away 2, and does that equal 5? Yes, that does. So it checks, so yay, it's right. Go ahead and record this. I'm going to hit pause, and then we'll pick up with our next example. Okay, now for example 2. Example 2, we have 1/2 log base 2 of x is equal to negative log base 2 of 10 plus 1. Step number 1, we need to get our logs to the same side of the equation. We're going to leave the 1 over here on this side. I just want my logs on one side, my numbers on the other. And so we're going to do that by adding log base 2 of 10 to both sides. So we'll be adding that to both sides. That's our goal. That's not an H. That's an addition. So by adding log base 2 of 10 to both sides, we will be getting this, and it will disappear from the right side. So these are gone. Next step, we want to condense it into one log. Now, because I'm adding my logs together, that means I'm using the property of my product property of multiplication. So this is going to become, first off, let's go ahead and move this 1/2, because it's being multiplied. That's going to become my exponent. So I've got log base 2 of x to the 1/2 now, and plus log base 2 of 10 is going to mean that I'm multiplying by 10. Now I don't like it in this order, so I'm going to rearrange that to log base 2 of 10 to the x, 10x to the 1/2, 10x to the 1/2. And on the other side, I've got that equal to 1. Okay, so we've condensed it into 1 log. Again, 10 times because it was addition, so that meant we were using the product property. Next, we are going to rewrite it as an exponential, so that's my next step. My base is 2, my exponent is 1, and that's equal to 10 times x to the 1/2 power. Okay? And now we are ready to move on to the next step. Okay, now we're going to divide both sides by 10 to get rid of this 10. 2 divided by 10 is 1/5. That's equal to x to the 1/2. Now we need to think about what does that x to the 1/2 mean. Okay, so remember that x to the 1/2 means that you're taking the square root, or the second root, this number right here, the second root of whatever this number is. So let's think about how we undo a square root. To undo a square root, we need to square both sides. That's how we're going to get rid of that square root right there. Okay? So if you want to rewrite it like this, you don't have to, but you can rewrite it as the square root of x equals 1/5. So how do we undo a square root? We square both sides. So we're going to go ahead and do that. If we square both sides of the equation, notice here, if I square both sides of the equation, when I raise 1/2 to the second power, I'm really multiplying 1/2 times 2. 1/2 times 2 is 1. When I square the square root of x, I just get x. So x to the first power, or just x, is equal to 1/5 squared. 1/5 squared is 1 times 1, 1. 5 times 5, 25. So my answer, which should be correct, is x equals 1/25. Now just like on the other problem, my next step is to check it to make sure that the solution works. So if you check it out here, I've got 1/2 log base 2 of 1/25, that was my x value, equals negative log base 2 of 10 plus 1. I put this in the calculator, so in the calculator for this I got negative 2.32193, and on the other side, when I put this side in the calculator, I also got negative 2.32193. So it checks, yay, we're done, and we'll see you tomorrow.